Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Light Language with Louise for this upcoming Capricorn full moon and lunar eclipse. This is the last of this trio of eclipses that we've been working with since early June. And there's definitely an energy of completion around this, not just for this eclipse season, but we're also revisiting themes, experiences that we've had, at the beginning of the year. We went into lockdown and there's a little bit of that energy maybe coming back again. Certainly here in Australia, a few more cases happening in Victoria. I know around the world that's much more intense than what we've had here, but we're still in that experience. But there's definitely an energy of review here and really looking at, well, there's things you've experienced before, but this time you're coming with a new level of understanding, a deeper level of awareness that means you're able to respond differently, make new choices, and look at new ways of moving forward that you perhaps might not have considered before. There are a lot of planets still in this retrograde phase, which is still a time, therefore, for review and reflection and for that inner work. I know I've really noticed this. It's been interesting for me to see that, things that I initiate at the beginning of the year are naturally coming to an end this month. And so then I'm looking at what's the next stage for me. And I've been definitely feeling noticing where the resistances are, noticing the attachments to old ways of doing things, and then really coming back into center and into that feminine space, that nurturing space, because there's an energy too here with Cancer. Cancer and Capricorn opposite. So Cancer's got that mothering, nurturing energy, and there are other movements, planetary alignments here that are supporting that for us to really drop into the body, feel what feels good, take care of yourself, so that you've got that foundation to move into life and creation in a new way that isn't so, so masculine and so with so much push to it. I know for myself, this is a real key for me, is just, to really allow myself that time to be in that stillness, that receptive feminine space. And then from that place is where the inspired action arises, and that impulse to get out there and create and make a difference. So I'm always passionate about you finding what is right for you, that deep level of compassion for yourself. I know a lot of people have been, experiencing tough times during this whole eclipse season, and it's always an invitation for more compassion and more self-care. Always, always, always. Because when you build that you're creating from that place, that's sustainable for a start. When you're really resourcing yourself, you can really create sustainable change for others. But it's also when you look at our society, we're seeing these patriarchal structures crumble. That's very much that energy of Capricorn around how we've had leadership, how we've been, controlling and dominating rather than respecting one another's differences. And what's going on and this dismantling of all of the structures is a move towards more of that mutual respect and that loving, that caring, but that giving and receiving as well, that we all need to have what we need. And certainly over this time when people have been, losing income and struggling in that respect, we're really looking at, how do we make that better for everyone, where everyone feels that they're cared for and nurtured, that we're all mothered and also fathered in the right way. And that comes also from that inner space of mothering and fathering yourself deeply, meeting your emotional needs, meeting your physical needs, setting up the structures that support you and protect you and can hold you for you to move into the world and express more of who you are. So eclipses always have this, amplification effect, and at a full moon we're always looking at what's being illuminated, what's being brought into the light. So maybe just taking a moment for yourself as we, approach this at the eclipse and the full moon happening on July 4th, July 5th, depending on where you are on the planet. And so really to take a moment to reflect on, you know, are you seeing everything clearly in your life? Are there some areas where maybe you're still acting out of old patterning, and bringing a new awareness to that, a fresh perspective, a loving perspective? It's not about beating ourselves up, but just noticing, and I know I've been doing this myself, really looking at where you could bring a fresh awareness to that. One thing I've been really playing with over the last week is really getting back into more of this feeling space when it comes to manifesting and creating. And I was listening to a beautiful teacher the other day around, you know, really getting into your heart place, your love place, and then from that place, you know, thinking of someone or something you love, and then really from that place finding the feeling of what it is that you want to create is going to give you, right? So I was really sitting with a place of joy and celebration, creating a new program, and noticing myself going into some old patterns around making it harder than it needs to be, right? And maybe you've got similar things going on for you, noticing those, meeting myself with compassion, and then thinking, well, what do I want instead? So that feeling for me, a feeling of joy and celebration, that I'm being of service in the highest way, that it's lighting me up. So I was sitting in that, really affirming that, feeling that frequency of celebration. And then I won a prize worth like $1,000 to attend one of my teachers' conferences, which was such a beautiful surprise, and also such a beautiful testament to that practice that I was doing. So just taking that time to feel into that frequency of what it was I really wanted to create, because it's all inside us, okay? And this is the point I'm trying to make, that everything, that it seems to be out there, but all of it is inside of us. So the work is internal, and for you to really take the time, give yourself the time to drop in, to reflect, to just feel into your life, what's working, what isn't working so well, and what's the feeling of that you'd like to have instead. What's that feeling? And just to sit and find that frequency within you. 2020 is such a powerful year, and the second half is going to be equally powerful, if not more. So, you know, you need to champion yourself along this journey. This is a year of sovereignty. This is about you being responsible for your journey, your evolution, what you have to bring. Only you can nurture that and let that flourish in the world. And so it's being willing to take that responsibility, to do what needs to be done, to take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, right? So I hope that I can support you with that. And as always, I'm going to call for a light language transmission to really help us to stay anchored in our own sovereignty, in our own divinity, in our own light, in our own power and love over these transformative times. And for you to really know that you chose to be here at this time, right? That your soul, your oversoul, thought this would be a great lifetime for you to really discover and share more of yourself and your uniqueness. So, as always with the light language, just let the frequencies flow through you, into you, trusting your higher self is going to send those where you need them and activate you into the next level of your empowerment. So our intention today for this transmission is just to really support us to champion ourselves on the journey of transformation, to really back ourselves, to really hold ourselves, to love ourselves, to open to receive what we need, knowing that we're fully worthy of that. So just take a deep breath into your heart and feeling beautiful Gaia beneath you, feeling the cosmos, all the love and light of all of the beautiful beings supporting us and your own higher self, and feeling already that deep vibration of gratitude for what we're about to receive. Gratitude always attracts more. So feeling very thankful for who you are and for what we are receiving today with the light language transmission. Okay, deep breath. And that was such a lovely, gentle transmission today. And really that was the message too. Please be gentle with yourself. Don't force anything. Allow yourself to come into your highest alignment with your experiences, with what you're creating, with what you're receiving, with what you're giving. Let that be graceful. Let that be effortless. Come back into that feminine stillness. And from there, let that masculine active principle arise. So this is probably a really good message for most of us, because I'm sure most of us do too much, try too hard, right? And don't let us have that beautiful experience of just softening and receiving. So I think that's a beautiful message for this upcoming eclipse. Let the loose ends come to completion. Be aware of yourself. Notice what might be coming to its natural resolution. Be willing to move into the new, perhaps the unknown, with a fresh perspective. And if you are free this Friday, or even if you're not free, you can register anyway and I'll send you the replay. I am holding our monthly Voices of Light global gathering. So that's 10 o'clock Australian Eastern Time, Sydney time, this coming Friday. So we'll go on a healing journey and receive more light language activations to really support us to work with these energies of the full moon and the eclipse, and really set us up for the second half of the year. Eclipses have that kind of 6-month effect anyway, and here we are at this pivotal kind of halfway point through 2020. Might not have turned out the way that you thought. All good. We're on this journey of the unknown. It's a great adventure. So just to support you, to resource yourself on this journey. So I look forward to seeing you then. Or as I say, register anyway, and I'll send the replay out very soon after the call. Yes, and feel free to share this video, like and subscribe. You can also find me at soulsignature.com.au or on Facebook. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful full moon and lunar eclipse this weekend. Lots of love. Namaste.